Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. New York Poets Cafe, make some noise. That sounded weak. That sounded like I asked you to give it up for the library, to give it up for English Class 101. This is the New York Poets Cafe. We have been around fighting gentrification for decades. Next year, we are going to be 50 years old. Right now, there is an elderly couple in Staten Island that's worked their entire life to save up for their retirement. And they are about to get ready to go to bed. And I say, screw that, you're retired, you should be at the New York Poets Cafe. So we're gonna make some noise and we're gonna wake them up. We're gonna make sure that the people who bought the $1 million apartments here and the $2 million apartments here, and they're trying to kick us out, are going to realize, screw that, we are Lower East Side of natives, we are going nowhere. New York Poets Cafe, make some noise. A little better. My name is Advocate of Wordz. I am a performing artist. I am a teaching artist. I teach kids how to talk their way out of detention, how to manipulate their parents, and get that cutie they've had their eye on. Okay? And as a performance poet, that means I literally get paid to talk shit for a living. Okay? I'm also the programs manager here at the cafe. I get to work with a lot of talent, and tonight we have our hybrid open mic. We do this the second Saturday of every month, and that is because I'm losing my voice. See, I do a lot of work. That is because we had to shut down for 2 years. And for 2 years, we had to go online, and we built this beautiful community online. And then all of a sudden, the world said, okay, you could open up again. And of course, we opened up again because this is where we are, this brick and mortar. So we decided at least once a month, we would bring both of those communities together. Our in-house audience and our audience joining us on Zoom. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. So if you like this show, and you want to rewatch it, especially those of you who've signed up to perform and you want to see how you look on stage inside our beautiful camera on Zoom, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. And up here on the big screen, as you can see, these are some of the beautiful faces that will be rocking out. I know Jeff Taylor looks like he's arguing with someone, but I assure you he's going to be rocking out with us. There's Marty. At some point, we are going to see Marty's kids run by, but we love them. It's all good. Look at Catherine right here. Hi, Catherine. She will be here in the cafe next weekend. Looking forward to seeing her. Complicated Passion, a.k.a. Samuel Rain, is here. We don't like him much because he looks better than me right now. Do something. Wear a hat that doesn't make you look good, Samuel. Also got Gustav. We're going to be hearing from him. He's in Florida. He's trooped it up here a couple of times. Who else we got? We got Terry Rose Chertson in the background. Every time I see her background, I think of church. I think of the glass stain, but I assure you, the kind of poem she writes, she is not a church woman. Okay, we also got, we love her though. So, and Jerry Lee Simo, is that food? Of course he's got food. He's probably gonna do a poem about food. We love him. So, these are the people who are gonna be joining us online. They're gonna be sharing their poems. Before we move forward, I wanna make sure that I let everyone know to please take out your smartphone or your dumb phone or you're just getting by in life phone, and please turn it off or put it on pleasure mode. Pleasure mode, vibrating. Come on, people. We're at the New York Poets Cafe. Get with the program here. Just want to let you know, there is no censorship here. So therefore, you're going to hear some of my poets using mommy and daddy language, wink, wink. And then the more serious note, some of our poets or performers tonight are going to share things that are incredibly vulnerable and possibly triggering. The founders of the New York Poets Cafe made it their mission to make sure that the voiceless had a voice. And that means we encourage your truth. And sometimes that is messy and it is difficult to deal with and put it out there, but we applaud your bravery. So you may hear some stuff like that. You also may hear some nonsensical stuff because we like that type of poetry too. So I have been doing this for over 20 years, which I know is astonishing to you because I don't look a day older, 21. I appreciate all of you thinking that. But I've been doing this for 2 decades, and I have gotten into the position that I am in because I am a very successful attention whore, okay? My ego is huge, but even my ego has to recognize that tonight is not just created by me. It is made possible by many people, and I want to make sure I give them love. First off, I want to give it up for our tech producer. He is in the DJ booth, and he recently just got a promotion to be a programs associate. Please give it up for Ron Mark Thompson. He is going to make sure that the internet knows we're having a good time. He's taking care of sound. He's taking care of video. All of you who are performing tonight, make sure that you are good to Ron because he is handling the camera, and we all know that you're going to want to put this on your social media. Look what I did at the cafe. And we all know that your exes are going to stalk your social media, and you want to make sure you look your best when you're living your best life. And you know what I'm talking about, right? You not? Yep. So make sure you're good to Ron. Also want to give a shout out to our house manager. He is going to be the new linebacker for the Chicago Bears, because God, do they need help. He is a visual artist and a tattoo artist. He is in the back. He's probably doodling something right now. Make sure that before you leave, you check it out and you ask him what he's drawing. Give it up for Ralph in the back. Also, got to give it up for the most important person in the room. And it's not me. Oh, that hurts to say, but it's not me. And I'm going to get in trouble for this. It's not my girlfriend. She is in the room, but she's not the most important person in the room. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for that. The most important person in the room has illustrious hair. My girlfriend's going to be real pissed about that one. The most important person in the room has an illustrious beard. She won't be mad about that, right? She doesn't want me to say that about her. The most important person in the room, his name is Kenny, and he is our bartender. Give it up for Kenny, our bartender in the back. We got wine, we got beer, we got water, we got juice, we got soda, we got New Eurekan Poets Cafe hats, we got New Eurekan Poets Cafe shirts, so make sure you go and check and speak with Kenny. All right, I think I have covered everything here. Poets, you have about 3 minutes, oh, not just poetry, but if you signed up and you're gonna do comedy or you're gonna do music, you are more than welcome to. You got about 3 minutes to rock out. We wanna get to everyone in a timely manner as well. Before we get to our first poet, as well, this is really important. The New Eurekan Poets Cafe is big on building community. We are a small nonprofit, so we are big on building community. And a lot of people have considered this a holy place. So all of you are going to treat it like you were in church today. And today, before we are done, you are going to greet one stranger you have never met before. You have tonight this experience in common. So we're going to treat it like church. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. What's the Yankee score? Oh yeah, they were eliminated, damn. So I'm a huge Yankee fan, all right? I'm a huge Yankee fan. And by law, I do have to mention this, even though I hate mentioning this. The New Eurekan Poets Cafe is a tolerant organization. We allow New York Mets fans and Boston Red Sox fans to come in and do their poetry. There, I did it, I covered it, all right. Also, got a bathroom in the back, 2 bathrooms upstairs, and of course, in the event of a fire, you can exit out this way. This is also a fire exit that will lead you out back. So, with that being said, let us get into the poetry. And first, coming up, we got someone who may make us hungry. We're gonna go to Zoom. We're gonna go to my man, Merrily Simo. Merrily Simo, my brother. Do me a favor, good man. I need a mic check. Can I get a mic check from you so I can make sure everyone here hears you?
Mic check.
There we go. We hear you loud and clear, and the goatee's looking beautiful. Merrily Simo, the floor is yours.
Well, I would just love to say that my first poem is all Advocate's fault because I wrote it in his workshop that he did recently. So this is all your fault, Advocate. It is called Why I Should Have Majored in Meteorology. Every poem I write is born as a thought inside my soul. Sometimes thoughts dissipate into forgettable. Sometimes thoughts take root into psyche. Thoughts that take root often communicate with other thoughts lying dormant in cerebral nooks and crannies, rooting around, waiting to make connections, attaching to new thoughts, in the same way trees of differing species communicate via their roots. These conjoined thoughts trigger their owners to think more thoughts that flow like wind and twirl like twisters. These weathered patterns of words become poems. When a poet speaks a poem, vocal cords find rhythm through varying volumes. Then written words speak to other poets who read said poems in their own voices with their own vocal cords in varying volumes, as if they originated from their own thoughts inside their own souls, because the volume of a poem is not about vocal cord vibrations, but how one expresses their soul. Gracias. Poem number 2. This poem has nothing to do with why I don't like wearing scarves. I was cold inside a warm room. There was a woman wearing a scarf I assumed was cashmere, who looked more comfortable than me. Somehow, I felt an unwarranted chill around my neck and shoulders when before I felt no inadequate discomfort. Suddenly, I rubbed my hands together, though they weren't cold. After the rubbing, my fingertips betrayed reality by exhibiting symptoms of needing gloves. I tucked them tightly in the pockets of my polar fleece warm-up jacket, which I had just decided to zip up to the top end of the zipper. The woman in the potentially cashmere scarf, who was unaware of my discomfort, rubbed the soft scarf between her thumb and forefinger from her left shoulder to the tassels at that end of the scarf, which made me feel jealous. And number 3, I wrote just the other night, and this is what happened when I wrote it. The single second on a winter night when I wished I was wearing gloves. The sky is perfectly clear tonight. Nary a cloud is present. Firmament is a blue that is not quite navy, a blue that is so brand new, LL Bean and J. Crew are in a bidding war to use it for a cashmere sweater. The moon is full. It is that shiny, bright, platinumish white it reserves for nights it knows one person will propose marriage to another person. There is a single shiny star in the sky tonight. It is trying to shine bright, but is hindered by such a lovely moon. 2 trees stand with their craggy, leaf-barren branches, seemingly cutting the moon into strips for supper. It is possible the star erroneously informed the trees that the moon preferred trees to be leafless, so the trees would notice the star more than the moon, which more likely is impossible than improbable. Not 100 feet away, over a dozen poets await a turn on a microphone at a trendy off-the-beaten-path joint, unaware of the poem happening in the parking lot, waiting to be written. Gracias, everyone.
Merrily, Simo, a mainstay member of our online community. He's also come up here to the New York, well, down because he is north of us. He's also come over here. Whoa, what's going on with the lights? Okay, lights are back on. You're breaking the cafe with your poetry. You're breaking the cafe with your poetry, Mr. Merrily Simo. Appreciate you, brother. All right, next coming up is a man I'm hesitant to bring up to the Zoom because he's definitely a lot smoother than me, and we've got quite a night ahead of us, and I still want you to like me. Let us get Complicated Passions, aka Dark Man Blues, aka Samuel Rain on the screen. My brother, can I get a mic check from you so we can hear you clearly?
I broke up with poetry.
He's good to go.
Somewhere the metaphor she said she still loved me. It's been a while since I've tasted beautiful. Arousing earth tones, she be black coffee in my mornings. Her essence flows through me. I tell her she's that preview to my pain. We love hard. Have you ever felt black rain? I can never let her go. She tells me the same when she says, I'm your fiend, dark man. She's off the chain. Call me the Mackin game. I'm just hungry for her love. I show her. We all flow differently. Some of us flow rhymes and call it therapy. She said my words have ways, so I took out my pen like she asked me. She said, write into me and make it nasty. Now she knows I would read her. It felt good discovering myself. True story, this past forgotten, these ancient memories feeding my soul. I wanted more, and she was giving, inviting me like home. She shared her emotions, leaving echoes on wall paintings. I spoke her name. She's dark girl magic. It wasn't her appearance I fell into, thinking this what makes me. She was that dare I needed, I had to. She spoke her mind, and I don't mind the inner beauty moves me. I could taste the hunger. After all, she's temptation. If only she knew, dark girl, I'll be loving you with all of my senses, not just the 5 they mention, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing, if I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheets do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You singing to me, and I come alive. As the fire in your body engulfs the depth of my soul, I feel you like music. Now, it was murder and I wrote it. Could have been me inked from the edge of this pen, but it's you I'm writing in. Caught up in the crime scene, it was love and the conversation, a dark side of romance, tied up, choked up, gave up. She was the last word I would pen. Her name is poetry. Now, Norican Poets Cafe, you can call me what you want, but love me like you insane. Don't water down your affections. Give in to me like you want these directions. Let me set the fire inside of you. Now imagine what I'm going to do. Feel me, touch me, tease me just a little. Let me in deep. I'm that complicated freak out to get it. Embrace my dare. New York, let me hit this right here. I'm that number 9, zodiac sign, Sagittarius. Thank you.
Complicated passions. That brother is Smooth, another mainstay member of our online community. I cannot wait till he comes out here to the New York and does what he does on the stage. You know you always welcome, brother. This is your home. I hope you get out here one more time. Give it up for Complicated Passions. And Ron, if we can, we got 2 more Zoom poets we're going to go to, then we're going to get live on this stage. We are now going to the Philadelphia Phillies fan out in New Jersey, Terry Rose Chertson. Terry, can we quickly get a mic check from you?
Go Phillies.
There we go. All right, y'all, give it up for Terry Rose Chertson.
Being that we're around the holidays, I thought I would read a poem from my book, The Chameleon Chronicles, called Unwanted Gift. Did you ever get one of those gifts that was an afterthought with no effort made to hide that sad, sad fact? Moreover, you tried to be gracious and smile, but all you really wanted to do was throw it down on the ground and sit on it or step on it, feeling guilty upon realizing they were Valentine's Day confections symbolizing love. This made you reconsider this feeble attempt as the best they had to offer at the time. On that note, did you ever eat a bite of cake that was so subpar that you wanted to spit it out and scrape the nasty off your tongue with a knife? Nothing like the cupcake war winner down the street. It was a near miss. Only a block away. Afterthought caused them to buy Wawa brand, the like of which was so tasteless and processed that on my deathbed, I will surely be nicely preserved. On the other hand, have you ever wished to be slathered from head to toe with the creamy filling and gorgeous frosting of the most satisfying cake that ever longingly graced your lips? Have you ever imagined your partner assisting in this cacophony of sweetness by licking said cake off places that you cannot reach? Why does my mind always return to this scenario? Maybe this is my happy place. I've heard of such retreats of the mind. Or is this just another fantasy? Am I searching for a distraction that completely engages my senses? I have no idea. Maybe in this sensual scenario, it's just an afterthought where no one gets hurt. Thank you.
I can picture Jesus right now being flushed red with embarrassment after that poem. One more time, give it up for Terry Rose Chertson. And we got one more Zoom poet we're going to go to right now, and that is Maddie. Let us get Maddie up on this. There she is. Hey, Maddie. Wait. You are in New York City, right? Well, wait, you're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear this bad excuse you're going to give me. Hold on. Let's unmute her. Hi, Marty.
Not like like that. So what happened was,
What happened? I love it. What happened was, yeah, we're gonna hear it. Go ahead, Marty. Tell us why.
the next, I'm gonna come out next time. I'm gonna come out for the next, next month.
All right, cool. Well, you popping on screen right now. All of the New York is looking at you. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, floor is yours. Give it up for Marty, y'all.
All right. This poem is called Weightless. I defy science. I broke away from the holds of gravity. I levitate on my greatness. Overcoming my fears of the physical world, I roam free and I soar. The burdens of the earth I will bear no longer. Like a hot air balloon, I cut my strings, ignite my flame, and up in the air I go. Please take my hand. We can both experience it. I want to show you what it feels like to walk barefoot across a rainbow. I want to see you smile as we make snowmen out of clouds. We can have a picnic on the moon and hold each other while we rearrange the stars and make them read, I love you. Please let me help you cut your strings. I promise I won't let you fall. I will teach you how to fly. Do you trust me? Here's a piece of my heart, don't let it go. I weaken with hopes of feeling your love strengthen for me. Together we can soar, we can defy science. From the sand to the stars and beyond. And if you don't choose me, that is okay. You see, I stored beautiful pictures of you deep within the vault of my heart and molded a sculpture from you, from luminescent particles of shattered meteorites that I found suspended in Saturn's rings. Strong, rare, and divine. The perfect medium to construct a replica of you. I keep it safe in my universe on a shelf with the things that I collect, which I love and treasure. Nevertheless, I have become content with my journey to be one that best be traveled alone, at least for a little while. My greatest weakness is also the most beautiful thing about me. That weakness is love. I love against all odds. I am free, I am weightless, I exist. While others plateau, I continue to transcend. And then I have one more. This is called The Last Tree. One sentence touched my soul today. I didn't catch it right away. 8 softly spoken words, strong enough to pierce through the anger and resentment that I held. I am in the autumn of my life, he said. I no longer saw him as a man. He became a lonely tree. In a barren field, he stood tall and was looking down, admiring me. All around me swirled his falling leaves, piles of unspoken memories scattered about my feet. I questioned what their stories told. He said, no, let them die with me. Only share what warms the heart and let the cold stay dead. Silence was all I had to give. My soul had no words to speak. Instead, it ushered me to take a seat. I offered company while his leaves continued to fall around me. I enjoyed his shade because I know that the present easily becomes heartfelt memories sooner than most wish them to be. Thank you.
Marty! Looking good on the big screen here at the New York. Thank you, Marty. She's become one of our newest mainstay members of the community, and next month she's gonna be here. She's gonna be at the cafe, all right? And the kids were good. They didn't run in the background, although they always welcome. They always welcome. Thank you, Marty. All right, Huey, we ready. Appreciate you, brother. So we are now gonna go here to the performers live in the cafe. A little bit later on, we'll get back to those on Zoom. I just wanna also say, I appreciate y'all. I know maybe it's not the smartest thing to start off a show with Zoom. I mean, after the 2.5 years, I know a bunch of us are triggered, but I appreciate those poets because they are all kinds of awesome. So let us get going with the poets on stage. First, coming up, I hope she's ready at the back of the bar. I told her I put her on the list. And I am not just a fan of her work because oh wait, before I call up this first poet, I forgot to tell you, we have a celebrity in the house. For those of you who may not know, we did a Halloween special here. We had a haunted house downstairs, right? And we wound up coming up short one member. And this young woman stepped it up and made a cameo, and she made this haunted dungeon. The first time we've done this at the New York, what it was, and it was great. She is from the Bronx, and she too has illustrious hair, just like her dad, who's the bartender, all the way in the back. Please give it up for Anna! See, because all of y'all were paying attention to me, you don't know what was going on back there. I said, first off, I forgot to tell you we have a celebrity in the house. And she slowly started to stand up on the bar stool like, I know he talking about me, because there ain't no one else here but me. So, love having the kids. We love making this a family event. With that being said, and don't worry, Post, about whatever you say on stage. She's born and raised in the Bronx. She has heard and seen much worse, all right? That's why she's tough as nails. That's why she wasn't scared to be in the dungeon, the haunted dungeon. So, let's get to our performers. As I mentioned, I am a New York Yankees fan, but I'm a Chicago Bears fan too. And I love this poet, not just because she is from Chicago, but because her poetry is ill. Please help me welcome to the stage our first performer on the stage, Indigo. Leigh, clap as Indigo makes her way to the mic. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. She's almost here. She's almost here. She is here.
I'm a scientist. While I'm wearing this shirt. So I'm gonna try vulnerability. Or I'm gonna do vulnerability. So I'm doing something. I'm doing all new things. There's 2 things. So I'll read one and then do one that I memorized. Okay. I have been daring nature for a long time. Looking directly into the sun during an eclipse, or crossing my eyes to see if they get stuck that way. Dipping my finger in the ocean to see if stopping one ripple can halt the waves. Racing breathlessly into the sometimes icy winds of change. Shaking trees and digging up land in search of the hollow, dry bones that will whisper which ancestral rapist sculpted my goldenrod skin, my sharp nose, and pulled loose the coils in my hair. They cannot stand defiantly in humid air. Nature seems to smirk at my shenanigans, back arched with a strange torsion toward what I think is peace, a leave me the fuck alone type of vibe. A freedom I have never known. So when life has its foot on your neck, sometimes you need a hype song.
Yeah.
When you can't find one that somebody else has made, I make my own. Okay, here we go. So when I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship, go up to Mars and go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. When I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship, go up to Mars and go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. When I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship, go up to Mars and go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. 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 I ain't gonna engage with these haters. I chew them up now, then I spit them out later. Then go take a nap, cause I still might be faded. And wake the fuck up and then hand you the greatness. My distractions are no longer tense, cause they just became the past tense. I'm just focused on paying my rent, cause my motherfucking dollars ain't making no sense. Since I like to speak of calamity, and it's destroying my sanity, but I gotta extinguish the man in me and conquer my demons handily. So when I can't handle the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship, Go up to Saturn, go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. When I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship. Go up to Venus, go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. 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 When I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship. Go up to Venus, go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. When I can't live in the matrix, I just go get on my spaceship. Go up to Saturn, go ape shit. It's time to get back to the basics. It's time to get back to the basics. It's time to get back to the basics. Peace, thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to Chi-Town. You know, for those of you who have heard of Poetry Slam, it actually started in Chicago. I know it's a big deal here in New York and nationwide. We talk about Poetry Slam in New York and at the New York Poets Cafe, but it actually started in Chicago. And yes, that woman with all that soul and rhythm and hyping us up is also a scientist. One more time, give it up for Indigo, Leigh. And keep clapping as Kayla makes her way to the mic. Keep clapping. Oh, and she's wearing the right baseball hat, representing the right team. We love it.
Hi guys. My name is actually Kayla, not Kayla.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm a 17-year-old poet from Florida. We're actually visiting here just for like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, I do like this team. I'm doing 2 poems for you guys today. The first one is a new piece. What's the poem anyways? Words rolling off the tongue in all kind of ways, and I'm always spitting fire off the work on my page. Long restless nights to connect to even longer days, and how can I begin to love if my mind is full of hate and I'm losing it? Kept my mouth closed, but now it's my story that I told, and fuck the hush hush, speak up when something getting old, and I grit my teeth when shit starts to unfold, and after your response, I had wished I never spoke, but change gonna come, and for that I really hope, but for now, I put 2 middle fingers up and said, fuck the silence, I ain't quiet, I ain't crying no more, now I'm flying, used to be stuck riding, dying for the wrong reasons, and change isn't all the seasons, but the lines on my wrist finally stopped bleeding, and I heard change on its way, but for that I really hope it's speeding, but till then, I bite my tongue and hold in on my breath. I wish I would have saw the signal of distress, or how I ain't see it coming when all we did was sex and put my worth on the line and you made it worth less. Doesn't explain why it wasn't love and just only limerence, I'm saying. And this change is everlasting through my mind and love attachments. Crossed my heart and my loyalty, and all they did was blast it. But it set me on this path to write down all my madness, but no one talks about how the come up was always tragic. And the feelings behind my words speak louder than my actions. And I can say I feel guilty when I'm getting passive, been like a whole relationship and ain't shit get established. But if you believe in karma, but I believe in karma, so if you want it, you can have it. But once you destroyed my trust, there's really no getting past it. But since I'm sitting here spitting on this mic, I'll put my guard down for once in my life and forget about the lies I ain't realized till sunrise the next morning. Could have swore that I was only raining and not storming, but it's change everlasting, so eventually it'll stop pouring. But what's a poem anyways? Is it freedom? Because I've been writing for a good while, and how come at peace my heart still set on fire? And I remember the night I wrapped my neck around that wire, always solid on my end. You can't ever call me a liar, but that change that I seek is the only thing I desire. But what is poetry anyways? Like, can you really preach to a closed crowd? Demons intervene and my thoughts start getting loud, and when my mom looks at me, there's no way she could really say that she's proud, and the only thing I was ever really good at was writing it all out, and the pain in my chest don't match up with my tear ducts in a drought, and I wish you could have felt me before I had to shout, but this poetry made me finally believe in myself. Writing down this blasphemy is the only thing that helps, and if you could see my thoughts, you'd think I belong in hell, and they told me they love me, but I can never really tell, but it changes in my poetry, and I'm pretty sure it sells, and poetry is the way out. Listen to this poem, and you'll see the way now. Almost died when I cried, but now I gotta stay down, and change is like karma, and it'll always come back around. Thank you. So this next one is called Sticky Note. I was actually in my second period skipping class. I was supposed to be in class. Don't tell my mom that. But I was in the bathroom and there was a sticky note on the bathroom, like in the wall. And didn't know what it meant when I read it, but I made a poem about it. Later on, I performed this at an open mic and somebody told me that it was actually from an anime. So if anybody knows what anime is from, let me know. I found a sticky note plastered on the wall of my high school bathroom. It read, "Everything is a simple shape, a form, an identifier to let others recognize me as me. But then, what am I? Is this me, my true self?" This sticky note may have very well noted thousands of years of history that just isn't mine, just some lonely girl writing her lonely thoughts posted on a wall, yet it spoke to me so clearly, its words rang in my head, placing its claim on my conscience. And I feel a disconnect between me and my peers recently, or maybe the cutoff was beyond timely manner, and my conception of the true essence of loneliness just hadn't peaked in retrospect. The opinion-based knowledge that roams the lands in which we call the skull could never quite reach the feeling of contentment for as long as the tongue continues to spit denial and the lies continue to claw their way out. But we all know that little voice in our heads couldn't really be us, right? An alleged impossible task it was, but I was determined to accomplish it. They say loneliness is an abyss, and feeling alone while being alone can suffocate you further, pushing you to the edge of insanity, nightmares brinking your conscience at the brink of slumber, and heartache greeting your body at the moment of wake. God, why? Why can't I just find the rationality in which I cannot comprehend? Why do I feel so lost? And it was on these days that I could turn it to Shakespeare, pen vigorously gliding my hand on my pain, plastered on this piece of paper. The lines spill out of me like they've been meant to be said their whole existence, and the truth was right there in its holy matrimony. It's a whole world in my head spinning faster than the one I'm standing in, and the blank expression on my face says it all. An imitation of my higher self consists of. But when I spit these verses, they hold the true value of the preach that I spit, in the intensity ignites more and more, erupting in orderly fashion. I once said that my higher self resides within me, and I just hadn't found her yet, but the yet seems inconspicuous because as of now, my higher self is no longer some form of the future, or much rather a manifestation of actuality. But this is all just from a sticky note, right? Or much rather a window looking into the mind of a lost girl just on her way to find herself, on her way to release herself, creating a new person, and this version is untouchable. Who is she? Is this her true self? After years of tears and popping Advils for headaches that just don't go away, after all the torment and torture from your own biggest critic, she has arisen, she has emerged. No more teardrops of bloodshed. She's at peace. Thank you.
Kayla! Yankee fans are always welcome here. Give it up for Kayla, y'all. Next coming up, I hope I say your name right. I hope I'm reading it right. Is it Jenny Binko Dunn? I said it right. Oh, all right, what is it? Say it again. Indigo Dunn? Okay. Next coming up is a really good friend of mine. We go back a whole 5 seconds. Give it up for Jenny Indigo Dunn. Give it up for her.
Hello, everyone. So I'm from Canada originally, and this poem talks about an old bar in Ottawa. I think it's been there for like 150 years. And there's a dude called Lucky Ron who sings there every Saturday afternoon. And one of his songs, many of his songs have rituals involved because he's been there so long. One of the songs is about a town in southern Ontario called Tillsonburg that historically was a tobacco farm community. And when he sings this song, you throw cigarettes at him. So I just had to explain that, otherwise this wouldn't make sense at all. Okay, so the Prince. We've been down at the Lafayette, getting afternoon drunk as skunks, waiting on Lucky Ron to go on, to show us his weekly show. We went together to lay our feats of drunkenness like heroic mantles over the layers of antique drunkennesses long past, to carve more half-moon grooves into the scuffed tables by beating our pints to empty, eyes shining with laughter. We went together to drink and to throw cigarettes on the stage in honor of tiny Tobacco Tilsonburg. Later, at the corner table of the underground Ottawa Aussie bar, fuzzy with drink, I finally make my love and my lust known to her. I am a pilgrim, come to worship at the altar of her silk skin, outrageous humor, expansive mind. I lay prone, my whole self a meaty offering at her feet, she the goddess. She just laughs. Inappropriately, I think. Callously, I think. She takes my cigarette out of my mouth to give her something to lean on while she tells me I am the only one in this love story. She keeps sucking, fish-like, on my cigarette, incongruously unserious, beneath her all-too-male bravado mask. Her fingers uncomfortably clasp my cigarette. She puffs, but she doesn't inhale. Not a smoker, that tam of Tobacco Tilsonburg. A very awkward smoker, that tam of Tobacco Tilsonburg. 1,000% straight woman, that tam of Tobacco Tilsonburg. Said she'd met the prince in these recent bad times. Pride of Tobacco Tilsonburg. Said the last thing that I'd ever expected, and that's how I knew we were going to pretend to be friends again. Thank you.
My new friend Jenny's pretty cool, man. I like that poem right there. All right, let us keep it moving. Next coming up, this man is a teacher. He is doing the good work, working with the kids, and I always probably tell you that I'm not going to mention how he's a professional athlete at something. I promise I'm not telling people about. You see, Maddie, I didn't tell him about it. I just said you're an awesome teacher. Put your hands together as Maddie comes to the mic. Give it up for this brother.
It's been a few months since I've been here, and I want to thank all the poets that have done before me, because damn, that's why I love coming here. It's lots of inspiration. Y'all are real good. This is some new shit. Hope it makes any sense at all. When I was a kid, my parents were God. They weren't flawed, and they set the laws and had no need for cause. So what could I do when they went to war? Each had their own door. I wasn't sure who to choose, what to do, what was true. How could I decide how to pick a side? The riddle of being stuck in the middle. What I didn't realize at the time is that being stuck between 2 points meant I was stuck on a line. A line like Lineland that spans one dimension. In Edwin A. Abbott's novella, where a square inhabits and shares a flat planet with other 2D shapes stuck like magnets on a fridge. They can slide left and right, forward and back, but lack nouns for up and down, outside the bounds of their perception, trapped in 2 dimensions. The exception is A square's reception in Lineland. There are native to adjacent points that stand side by side and don't understand a second dimension. Their only comprehension, left and right. And despite A square's attempts to teach a new set of facts about forward and back, they attacked A square's perspective, declaring his mind defective because their reality reflected only lefts and rights, with no other choice in sight. Seeing is believing, and there was no relieving A square's own doubt about up and down until he was taken out of his land and began to understand the sham he was trapped in. Like when, as a teen, I began to step out of line and realized I could assign my own destination, defy both my parents' expectation. Their track's design is not inherent, and I can switch track their errant ways. And now I am free to visit new stations, off the line, to have a track that's just mine. My intention to be like Thomas the Tank Engine, who pays attention to the engines in need and asks them, why don't you work hard like me? Like Thomas, I want to be useful. I want to help pull my weight to create new lines, because to have only one leaves just two directions, just one dimension, east or west, mom's way or dad's, left or right, two warring packs that make us fight while both avoiding tax. We're expected to choose the lesser of evils, but how can we choose between two diesels? It's a character from Thomas the Tank Engine. The middle is a position I can't make decisions in. I strive for 3D vision, but I'd settle just for 2. Maybe if we stop thinking in lefts and rights, we can gain sight if we take a step back. We can look forward with a broader view of new tracks to choose. Progress isn't linear. No one is superior. The more lines, the more directions, the more chances for intersection, for more connection. Thomas made all sorts of friends. Love transcends many dimensions.
My man Maddie, a mainstay member of this community that visits the cafe. I actually first met him on Zoom a couple of times, and now he's here all the time. Well, he has it in the last few months. So, and that's why he's looking like a model up here, right? Like he just wakes up like that, like my beautiful hair, my 5 o'clock shadow. Do you know how many men go to the barber so they could line up our 5 o'clock shadow? And it looks like yours, just like God was like, you don't need a barber. Just give it to you. He also I've also been watching just a little, not a lot, a little bit of the World Cup right now, and you look like you could be in the World Cup, man. Like you in shape, you got like all the hair, the look, all of it. Like it's fantastic. One more time, give it up for Maddie. And the poem made sense too, brother. The poem made sense. Let's give it up for the poem too, right? Let's give it up for his poem. The struggles of good-looking people. They don't hear me, they just stare at me. Sorry, Maddie. All right, next coming up to the microphone is a goddess. She is a mainstay member of this community. She has edited her own anthology, and she has published 2 books. Please give it up for Deadpan Lizzy. Clap as Deadpan Lizzy comes up, the Beanie Goddess.
Perfect. Thank you. Beanie blessings. I want to say Kayla, right? You were wonderful, by the way. I'm 31 and I can't do that. They call me the Beanie God, and we have a little thing here called the Beanie Mafia, and I'm also a big Yankee fan. So now you're in the Beanie Mafia, and you got to take that to Florida. Okay, I have a Yankee beanie, I'm just not wearing it. But keep going. That was amazing. So yes, I'm a published author, and this book actually just got nominated for a Pushcart Prize. Thank you. So I'm going to read one. I created my own style of poetry called Pankus. They're types of 9-word poems. I have these in the back along with some of my other books if you want to purchase one tonight. So this is a 9x9 Panku. It's called Gaff Tick Goodbyes from my book Kundabini. I packed up a part of my life I thought would be hard and would make the floodgates open faster than a NASCAR at Daytona 500 competition. Perhaps this is why it was so effortlessly easy to donate and throw away the gaffer tape that controlled my 20s. But I will not let it stick to my well-being anymore. If I choose to tear off a piece of the strong, easy, and versatile magical gaff, I will say hello again. That's just one poem. And I'll leave you with one last new ink. I was inspired by our new shit, thank you. It's a lyric poem. I was inspired by Jory Graham to write this, so it's in 3rd person. Does Elizabeth live in a non-human reality? Does she care what others think of Zer? Does Zer enjoy challenging her own syntax? Do they care that others continue questioning his comfort in gerund? That Zer uses all the pronouns? That they are unafraid to learn more about Zer's self? Does she take comfort knowing she will always be unusually common? Will she ever care about a big burga? Will she reveal the personal truth of that? Does she think this poem will ever be complete? No, because I know I'm an evolving poem. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
Make sure you speak with the poets. They're doing a lot of interesting things. Let us keep it moving. Next coming up is someone I don't know, so I'm always interested when we get new voices up. Please give it up for Alex Petunia. Clap as Alex Petunia comes to the stage.
Thank you. So I was born in Chicago. I lived in LA.
Chateau!
I love the Bears.
Yeah, I love you already.
They make me sad, but I love them. I live in LA now, and it's my first time in New York. We leave tomorrow, and we had to come here. So I'm gonna read a poem from my book that is why I wear a flower in my hair. Voila. Nails a fresh red. Lips a light burgundy, hair a dash of gold pinned with a white flower. Skin a gentle amber, though paler now. But that anemia didn't steal her glow. And that diabetes didn't crack her skin. And that stiffness in her lungs didn't stop her from laughing. And that arthritis didn't stop her from dancing with me next to her hospital bed. And that failing heart never stopped her from loving each of us beyond a heart's capacity. I paint my nails a bright blue, I pucker my lips a faint magenta, I nestle a freshly fallen petunia in my auburn hair. I proudly smile, her smile on these cheeks we share. Together in my memory and in my blood, she is always laughing with me, and she's always looking so gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. I'll close out with this new shit. This is called See Her. She, this jagged, ragged thing, this strap edging off left shoulder, this nipple piercing through thrifted tee, this long hair on right knee that dodged the razor, this scar on left foot from fickle feline, she, this arrhythmic heart enlarged, this confined chest of waking breath, this beast tied down, this wilderness in untamed mind, this unapologetic snarl. She, this empty womb of repeating cycles, this longing of what could have birthed, this shaking off shoulders of regret, this unborn wisdom of darkness caressing edges of sunlight. She, this hummingbird speck in oaken eyes, this emerald spark only the sun reveals. If you really look close enough, long enough, can you see it? Can you see her? She, this freedom trail of thickened bush, this lulling nectar of sweet intentions, this unopened love letter of pulsating purrs. She, this kindling magic waiting to burn for you, with you. Waiting beyond her mountainous breasts, beyond her voluptuous hips, her stretch marks glittering thighs, her plumping arms of embrace. She, this iridescent sheen, thirsty like you, hungry for a taste of not just your lust, but your tender hope. She, this postcoital mane, this entanglement of limbs and sweat and tears, leading you to your divine pleasures unhinged. She, this precious lightning and questing eyes, this voltage of stardust seeds, align your galaxies with hers, dive into her midnight mirrors to your own power within. She, this abyss of bliss, she, this love bite you didn't expect, she, this heart quench you thought impossible, she, this soul gospel you did not know you needed. But are you open enough to see her firelight? Are you present enough for her patient truth? Are you worthy enough of her quaking awe? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alex Petunia. The flower was everything, loved it, loved it. And I love that we have a bunch of different voices who are here coming up a bunch of different styles, right? And then I also love that one line. I know I'm really weird. I read and hear a lot of poetry, but that one long hair that avoided the razor, like that stuck out to me. I know Maddie with his perfect beard doesn't understand that, but I understood that. I was with you, Alex. I was with you. All right, next coming up to the microphone. After this, we're gonna take a quick short break so you can go see Kenny, get yourself a drink. You could go outside, smoke your funny cigarettes that are legal now, or if you need to call the babysitter to make sure the babysitter's still alive. So we're gonna give you a quick 5-minute break. But rounding off the first half, please welcome Ray to the stage. Clap as Ray comes to the mic.
It was good, y'all. Last time I was here, my mother was on stage, man. That was many moons ago. Woo! It looked a lot different too. I'm gonna just get right into it, man. I got 3 minutes. Here we go. Cigarette smoke to suffocate the beckoning of my sorrows. My frame is still shaken up from the last time I survived myself. Protecting me still, this aura I was born in, proving its dexterity emanates raw power like the sun. Surrender unto it. To stare into me too long would be foolish. My lover, you'd go blind. It was in your physical, no, you were as my favorite student, observing all, reflecting back the light of my shine. It was in your physical absence I could find you waltzing into, wandering the back corners of my mind. I hated that. The way you know I spoke in scattered thoughts, picking out what made the most sense to say it back, it was all gravy. You had a maniacal laugh like mine because we was both crazy, and while you were growing, it was in all the worst ways. I let the world change me. You can't save me. Shit. I thought I knew that poem. I got a little more for you guys though. This is one of my earliest poems, but it's a little gruesome compared to my later work. There goes. I'm the booze on your breath. Shit, ain't you know I was like the rat flea, the dirt in your nails, and the blood on your knuckles? Didn't you know I was like the coke you forgot to clean off of your keys? Shit, the tossed rubber, I'm here and I'm not. I'm everything that you wished you forgot. I'm that shit that floods your toilet, kids, you hate me, but you must face me. I don't even like you. I don't even like me. All my life I waste and grieve, I'm numb, and all your love might not could be enough. It's us. But then again, it's all I see. It's like I'm the booze on your breath. I'm the rat flea, the dirt on your nails, and the blood on your knuckles. I'm ugly. I'm that shit you've been running from. Your dirty secret, feast your eyes and get a load of this guy. Who does he even think he is? He's got all this nerve to moan and bitch with all these gifts. Man, life is rich. And you are here and you made it, and I love you.
Ray! Love, it's a family event. He was like, yo, last time I was here, my mom was rocking on this stage. So this is what it means. It means, Ray, you messed up. Because, he almost spit out his beer, that was great. It means you messed up because even if one of your family members, Ray, and calls you and says that they have an emergency, on the second Saturday of a month, you have to say, I'm sorry, I have to come to hybrid. The cult has made me one of us. Give it up for Ray. So, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Like I said, we're gonna play some tunes. Make sure you speak with one another. Like I said, this is church. Meet someone new. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes. Ron, let's get some tunes on. Check 1 2 1 2. Let's get some lights up in here. I hope that everyone went and saw my bartender Kenny. I hope that everyone called the babysitter and the babysitter is okay. All right. And if you smoked your funny cigarettes, cool. I can smell it. No problem. All right. Let's get back into it. We still have quite a few people who are going to rock out here, but I want to get first to the people on Zoom. We got a couple more to go on Zoom. So Ron, if we can we please get my brother from Florida up on the screen, Gustav. Oh, wait, we got to lower that mute. We got to turn the YouTube music off. We're going to get a copyright strike for that. Real quick. All right, we're good. All right, Gustav, can we get a mic check from you?
Check 1 2.
There we go, loud and clear. Leigh Compose Cafe, make some noise for Gustav Salas.
This is called the Kintsugi Suite, Part 1, The Breaking. I remain in this maze, lost without relief, in the grasp of grief. I'm blue, it's true, I've not gotten over losing you. When I first awaken, all seems fine, but then I remember your loss and mine. This discordant note sounds like scat jazz with no rhyme. It smells like the room where you died. That moment my synapses fried, cauterizing the wound, but not healing this grief. I stand before you, I seek relief. Part 2, picking up the pieces. I am Humpty Dumpty, put back together again. It took all the king's horses and all the king's men, fragile eggshells sealed with gold. This is the greatest story ever told. I become something to behold. Wisdom attained cannot be bought or sold. A magician wielding words like wands of power, getting stronger by the hour. Watch my imagination flower. A flash of inspiration strikes the tower to fire this broken pottery that is all my own. Through this grief, I know I have grown. Part 3, the art of healing. Maybe I am dead, but you keep me alive. My only wish for you is to thrive. I gave my whole life for you. Don't waste that gift. You know it's true. Time is precious and I am still within you. So don't cry, my love, or lose your cool. Let me take you to school like I did when you were young. Don't let your song go unsung. My death is a bell that can't be unrung. Feel the power in your heart, the voice from your tongue. Yes, maybe I'm dead, but you keep me alive. My only wish for you is to thrive. And this one's called Telekinesis Thesis. Interstellar travel is within our grasp, though the distances are immense as space is vast. Time and space itself are constructs of the mind. It is within that final frontier we will find, like spooky action at a distance implies. On quantum entanglement, our thought flies. Time and space will bend to our will, travel in the blink of an eye, a new human skill to transport us to dimensions as yet unknown. Galactic consciousness, my mind is blown. The universe beckons an endless delight, poetic compositions of words made of light. As above, so below, feel the power of my flow to transform the logos, the ethos into paradoxical pathos, to transcend the singularity, to see the whole with crystal clarity. From DNA to spiral galaxies we're spun, out of this world we have won. We're about to get bliss-tastic, tripping the light fantastic, epic journeys through time and space, encounter the Godhead face to face, in the mirror every day, fractal visions, a sudden sway. Thank you.
Gustav Salas, our brother out in Florida. Gustav, you know you could come back up. I know you've been up here twice, man, and you probably got bills to pay, but still, who cares about the rent? Come back up and hang out with us, brother. One more time, give it up for Gustav. Now we're going to a poet who is one with nature. She is one with nature. And normally when we get to see her on Zoom, she's out in the middle of nowhere building cabins. And that is Catherine. What's going on, Catherine? Can I get a mic check from you so we can hear you?
Peace be with you.
Peace be with, oh shoot, she's been paying attention to the show. Catherine, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Steeples pierce fog aloft in clean swaggers. Needles so thin, deflate a mind by slow leak. Madness assembles thoughts as churches gather sheep. I've rolled my collection down the steep hill, battering ram through the vapor doors of free will. Lambs of God float and bleak like bubbles, rising to burst upon happy daggers. Thank you.
Catherine! Follow her at Catherine Lady May on Instagram. Make sure that you're here next weekend because she's going to be here. I'm excited to have her in the cafe again. Thank you for not building your off-the-grid house so you can come and hang out with us, Catherine. Appreciate you very much. All right, we got one more person on Zoom, then we're going back to the stage here at the cafe. Ron, can we please get Jeff Taylor up? There he is, Jeff, at the beginning of the event. It looked like you were arguing with someone, but I'm happy that you are still here. I don't know, you were arguing in the back. Let's get a mic check from you, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I was just having a conversation. I just look passionately when I'm talking about something that I have feeling about. If I have an opinion about it, and you can tell that I have an opinion about it when I'm talking. But there was no argument. It was just a conversation.
So what happened is I was doing a fantastic job of hosting and introducing the show, and you weren't paying attention. Is this what you're telling me now, Jeff? I hate it. I would have taken an argument, right? Like, I'm trying to watch this fantastic man put this show together, and you're arguing with me. Don't you see my super? All right, enough. Jeff is a fantastic poet. Always humorous. Love having him being part of this community. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Jeff Taylor. Give it up for him.
Okay, thanks for having me. This one is Pulling the Switch. Nolan and I are on Cleveland Avenue, more stoned than Mount Rushmore, switching the lawn ornaments adorning one house with the lawn ornaments decorating the identically built house next door. It's a game we like to call moving the goalpost. Nolan is in front of number 43, dismantling the strategically placed ceramic troll, frog, and mushroom display. While I'm at number 45, uprooting the arrangement of John the Baptist, plastic deer, and a welcome to the Tanners sign. Changing our position as the aftermath becomes tenuous, occupying the Tanner's porch, Nolan takes a backgammon board from his backpack, sets up the black and white pieces, both of us not quite sure we should be here, but neither of us willing to admit it. We smoke and laugh. The Tanners are gonna be pissed when they realize what went on when they were sleeping. Thank you. That's Pulling the Switch.
Keep giving it up for Jeff Taylor, y'all. Appreciate you, Jeff. He's a mainstay member of our online community as well. If you haven't checked out, we've got our Monday night and our Thursday night online open mic. I host on the Monday nights, and on Thursday is Ray Jane, who's here. She'll come up a little bit later. She is going to rock out. So let us get back to the live stage now. Let's put some lights up. There we go. So first, kicking it off, another mainstay member of this community who also comes to our salsa nights. Every last Sunday at 9 p.m., we have our salsa nights. You gotta come out and rock out. Without further ado, let us please get Ronan Rose to the stage. Give it up for Ronan.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like 7 foot taller than I am. So it's been a year since I've been in this New York bubble. And so I'm gonna read the first poem I ever wrote on this. I ever performed on this stage. And it was like the first and last time I did it, so it's the first time I do it since then. Borderless boundaries, set in place as euphemisms for new relationships, the cross-contamination of thoughts and morning routines became the blurred lines between individualism and conformity, comforting me, extorting me, exploring me. The flames that once raised are now tamed by her water, leaving ashes to form our names, stitched into the veil that never came in search of a forever love. As we walked the aisle of the church that was never built, the foundation rumbled, the ground collapsed, we stood still, holding on to our daily bread, our bodies grew ill. The altar became a fork, she chose the road most traveled. As she walked out, you walked in with the feeling of familiarity and the same sense of her skin. I tried to fight it, avoid it, I screamed, but you let yourself in now, living within, inviting your group of friends, the exploration of sabotage. Accompanying me at the bar, the living room, the bed, beside me, inside me. Day to day, you and I become one, her name still scarred on my tongue from the burn of your kiss. Her name still slices the silence whenever you speak. I don't know how long you'll stay or if you ever leave. Your name strikes fear, knowing I can't love someone I can't see. She's known as La Soledad. Thank you. I am Ronan Rose. You guys can catch me on Instagram, RONINROSE_. I got a couple events I'm putting together next year, so feel free to link up. I just released this book in October, so if you want to chat about it, I'll be here for a while. Thank you guys.
Ronan Rose. And you know, I always tell people to talk to everyone in the poetry community because it's like they do way more than poetry. So like Ronan does film. He didn't talk about that, but he knows some graphic art and some film stuff. So make sure that you speak with him. All right, next coming up is a name I don't recognize, and I love hearing new voices. Where's Junie? Am I saying it right? Junie? Give it up for Junie as he comes to the mic.
There we go.
No, sorry.
Nah, I'm just short. This is my first time here. So I wrote 2 poems 2 days ago, and 2 days thank you. And 2 days ago, I finally got some sleep. It wasn't worth it. Fucking betrayed me. It wasn't worth it. This is the first poem. Another life, another version of myself lost his mother. Even in another life, you were kind, gentle, died gasping for air. In a different time, a different place, a different world that might not exist, I was still too weak, useless, unable to carry you from one end to the other. How many times? How many times will I sleep, dream, see you slip away from a distance, unable to save you? Mom, will every version of you die tragically? In any reality, you die peacefully. What are you trying to tell me? You push and tug, and what brings me to tears, the taste of whiskey and cheap beer, I miss it. A little under a week, the cracks are showing. Drinking helps me loosen up. Makes me a better writer, a decent poet. Drinking helps, it helps, it helps, it helps. The best mistakes were my greatest memories, your biggest fears. 19 years old, Charlotte Tapia, Mexico. Another life so far behind me now, I write in great fondness. Those times are gone. Regardless, in great detail, I jot down what I can remember, your words. There is no real justice here. No investigation. No cameras. The world will snatch you up, drive away, and you'll never be seen again. Please be careful. Thank you. And this one's for my Theo, who also passed away due to COVID. And to this one, it wasn't sad, it was just fucking beautiful. It was just great seeing him again. So not every dream is bad. For a moment in time. Eugenio, it's you. The same smile, same belly you carried, it's you. I'm so happy it's you. Dressed in gray, blue jeans, it's you, it's you. Your embrace deal, your strong arms, a grip that held the family together, it's you. In a second, I became a 7-year-old again. My head in his chest, crying like I used to. I look up and see his tears fall like mine. It's me, oh, it's me. It's all familiar. It's all new. Dio, it's you. It's you. Again in a second, I was 24. The world of blue ceiling, my eyes and cheeks crusty from dry tears. Laying in bed with all my strength, I say, thank you, God, thank you. Selfish in all of my crest, thank you for every second, thank you. That's it.
Done messed up, Junie. Now you gotta be here every second Saturday. One more time, give it up for Junie. Welcome to the New Rican brother. Okay, next coming up, I hope I read this right. It's either Anel or Ariel. Ariel. Next coming to the stage, please welcome Ariel. Clap for Ariel as she comes to the mic.
How much time do I have? Okay. Okay. One time I went to the market and bought myself a 179 can of red kidney beans. I opened a can and ate the beans with a plastic spoon as I walked up the street somewhere in Brooklyn. What a good deal, I thought to myself. A filling meal for $1.79. You don't get that anywhere. At the time, the cheapest, most filling thing that you could buy other than a $1.79 can of beans was a $2 Jamaican beef patty, an item that a number of small bodegas sold. If you were lucky, they put a piece of cheese on it for free, your choice of cheese. I was trying to go healthy and vegan, so I decided to eat beans. Later on, I met up with one of my girlfriends at a rooftop bar across the street from Penn Station. We spent the entire night strolling around Midtown, walking among the thick crowds and going into stores. It was the weekend before Halloween, and more people were out partying than ever. As we sat in Guitar Center around 10 p.m., the smelly farts started. We went to Ben & Jerry's and the farts persisted. We went to an Irish pub on 42nd Street and the farts wouldn't stop. A smelly fart every 2 seconds. Please, far away from me. Walk away if you have to, my friend told me. I was shocked, grateful, and pleasantly surprised that my friend had put up with being around me for the whole night with all those smelly farts. Maybe that means she's good people. I guess that's the big test to see whether your friends are truly loyal. Will your friends still stick around when you bombard them with smelly farts? Only time will tell. That's the test. There came a point where no matter where I went in the place, I felt embarrassed. The farts wouldn't stop leaving my ass every 2 seconds. And wherever I stood, people would quickly realize that I smelled like crap. And that the crap odor was coming from me. Nobody was saying anything to my face, but I could tell by the looks on people's faces and their demeanors. Oh, okay, that's the end of it. Is there any more time?
2 minutes.
Oh, but it's a serious one, though. It's a serious one. It's not a funny one. Okay, there comes a point where it's like, when is something not okay? We all live on top of each other. We're forced to work with each other and stand alongside each other as we socialize. You're also forced to accept each other to keep the peace. Tolerance is the word, but what happens when someone behaves so poorly that starts to affect everyone around them? The question is, what is poor behavior? Where do you draw the line between poor behavior and okay behavior? And suppose that a person isn't acting in a way that can be solidly defined as bad behavior. That person is acting in a way that emits negativity into the environment. Suppose a person isn't acting in a way that can be described as bad behavior, but is acting in a way that can be described as not respecting certain boundaries.
Suppose a person is so persistent to the point where they do whatever they want to do, Such a person could be very nice and very well behaved, yet do things in certain situations that could be considered taking advantage in a not so classy type of way, like a very inconsiderate type of taking advantage, where you size people up based on who they are and their circumstances, and you don't completely care what's really good for them. So when is something not okay? When is a person not a good person? Are we all human? We're all living in our own worlds with our own thoughts and feelings. Empathy is the word. We can all accept each other, exist among one another, and even love each other, but what happens when our empathy gets in the way of our judgment? Take a few steps back from a situation, look at it for what it is, and describe it in words. Remove the names, remove the faces, remove your knowledge of the people in the situation and how you know them. Just look at the situation. Once you look at the actual situation, you may have a hard pill to swallow, realizing that those who you want to call nice people are not actually nice. Empathy allows you to see everyone around you as human beings, flesh and faces with their backstories and mental wiring. When you look into the face of someone, you see eyes, cheeks, hair, skin. But when that simple creature wears on you and crosses your boundaries, where do you draw the line? Looking into the face of someone you know and love, seeing them in the flesh, makes it so hard to come to terms with the fact that they are toxic and you shouldn't be around them. Sometimes toxic people take advantage of your familiarity with them and use that as a way to get what they want, making what they want seem ethical when it really isn't. What?
Sorry, no, I'm with you.
It's good. Wait, do I have more time?
Yes.
Okay. It's good to tolerate people and have empathy, but if you let your love or familiarity with people get in the way of your judgment, you may have real predators lurking among you. You may have people lurking among you who are real, like narcissists or psychopaths or just general losers who just want to take from you. One thing can lead to another, and all of a sudden, someone who you have all the empathy in the world for can do something grossly unethical. Where do you draw the line between someone just saying what's on their mind and someone talking trash to start trouble? If a girl's talking trash at work about her coworkers and making problems at the job, should you still call her a nice girl and let her go on with her craziness just because you have empathy for her and you know that she has personal problems? Where do you draw the line between just being flirty and sexually harassing or being annoying? If a guy friend who I'm not interested in sticks his face close to me and says, "Hey, honey," and my friends think it's cute and acceptable while I don't, what do? Do I accept it as part of his personality? And if I say I don't like him and I really feel bothered by him sticking his face in my space, is it okay for the people who I'm hanging out with to act like it's cute and okay? And when I calmly tell them, no, I don't like him and this bothers me, is it okay that they just shrug it off and talk like there's something between me and this weird guy who I don't like? If a man tells his girlfriend that he wants to have babies with her, yet refuses to give any time to her and doesn't give her the physical intimacy that a woman craves, not even a hug, and he keeps the girl on the shelf as an option while still seeing other people, is this situation okay? And she waits for him anxiously for months or maybe even years while craving his presence and touch. In this kind of situation, you have a grown man who doesn't care about the needs of the goddess who he says he wants to have children with. But you can also say that's the woman's fault because she's clinging on to the guy and wasting her own time. And then she starts seeing other men and getting emotionally tangled up between him and other guys. When does a situation go from being a lifestyle decision to just being unhealthy and not okay? When does the situation start to not be okay? Perhaps when it starts to look unhealthy or put a negative emotional burden on the people that isn't necessary. Where do you draw the line between okay and not okay? Okay.
Ariel! I was so looking forward to coming up here and talk about, yes, there's a place for farts and poetry and all that, but then that second poem was just like truth bombs. I was like, damn. So one more time, give it up for Ariel. We've got 4 poets to go, and it seems like we're ending the night with the ladies. Let's keep it going. Next on the list is another mainstay member of our community. Please give it up for Merrily Johnson. Clap as Merrily comes to the mic.
Hi, how's everybody doing? So I didn't finish writing this silly thing that I was working on, so I am going to do a few haiku. Here's a haiku crafted just for you. Like it? Wonder where that came from. A screed on free creed. This ain't no Christian nation. Why anti-Muslim? You let them starve so they won't eat up your tax dollars? I'm so happy and so very lucky to have 7 pairs of jeans. Sort of supposed to be, yes, haves, nots, but whatever. First publication, giving beginners a chance. Believe in myself. Thank you.
Merrily Johnson, wearing one of her 7 pairs of jeans to the event today. We appreciate you, Merrily. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, oh yes, he's here. You ready? You ready, Nico? So, before we get to our last 3 poets for a special announcement, I want to bring up our special assistant to the executive director. He is also a member of this community. Please give it up for Mr. Nico Diaz. Clap as Nico comes to the mic. He got some info to share with you about next weekend.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? How y'all feeling? Happy to be here with you all. I just was in the Bronx and I was like, should I go home, come to New York? Fucking came to New York to be with y'all, so I was happy to be here with y'all. So, pleased to announce that next week is my birthday. Survived my Jesus year. I'm 33, I'm gonna be 34 next week. And so we're gonna be celebrating here at the New York Poets Cafe. It's called Dándole because it's a fundraiser for the cafe for our 50th anniversary. We're trying to raise $500,000 for the next 50 funds. So if you're interested, pull up. It's gonna be a good time. La Bruja's performing. We're gonna have La Bruja, Destiny, Paul Con Queso, Gabe Ramirez, Espada de la Luz. Myself will be hosting and performing as well. And we're also gonna have tunes by DJ J Fuse afterwards. So it's gonna be part showcase, part party, all for a great cause, which is celebrating me and the New York Poets Cafe. So, yeah. So if you can, it's $30. If you guys have any questions, I'll be over by the bar. Thank you.
Nico Diaz, you can buy tickets online or here at the cafe. All right, like I said, we're down to our last 3 poets. We're closing out strong with the ladies. 2 of them I know, 1 of them I don't believe I have met before, so I'm eager to hear her. So put your hands together as Chris comes to the mic. Clap as Chris comes to the microphone. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Oh, she's getting ready. Dun, 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 dun.
Hi everyone. So, thank you. Every time I get on the stage, I gotta start off by expressing some gratitude for the opportunity, because many years ago, I would have never thought that I would be doing this again. So I'm extremely grateful for y'all for this moment. And I'm gonna kick it off with something called Something Else. Your 20s are weird. Here you are, reconstructing yourself. And all that you once believed you knew, or thought you knew, or would like to think you knew, is now conflicted with something else. A new mindset, a new set of habits, a reformed way of thinking, a reformed set of values, a new you. Now, some may say new and improved, but yet why am I at war with myself in the new? Why is every day a new set of revelations that bring me toward elevation, but with hesitation? This new set of boundaries has me feeling excited, yet slighted? I don't know about y'all, but me and this new got some work to do. Apparently we always have. Your 20s are weird. Talk about a lifelong project. I knew self-improvement would be a process, but damn, I don't think young me had this prospect in mind. Flowing between I'm doing well and the city is mine, but yet why do I feel like I'm running out of time? I know this phase will not last, and just like the Bible says, it's this too shall pass, but this phase sure knows how to form an overcast. It's fascinating, really. Talking myself through the drama internally and externally, I really do want the change to continue with me. So I journal and write rhymes with hopes I could follow the signs. Here I am saying the universe speaks to me, hears me. I've always believed in God, but I'm aware spirit similarly holds true. Not a day in my younger years would I've seen myself battling my fears, and consistently, might I add, borderline leaving me in tears. Your 20s are weird. To think this is the beginning. If Jesus died for my sins, then should I not honor his tribute by sinning? Each and every day feeling more like the Hunger Games, so am I really wrong to have this perspective? Things could always be worse, so I make sure I'm reflective, introspective, thinking to improve myself, not only for myself, but for the collective. So here I am, reconstructing myself. And all that I once believed I knew, or thought I knew, or would like to think I know, is being put to a test. Your 20s are weird. Matter of fact, there's something else. So that was something else. I'm in a mood to kind of read some new shit. But it's not done though, but I feel, thank you. So this one is called Love. I stay writing about this. No one tells you the truth from the jump. Love yourself and it all will come. Make sure you're set. Foundation sturdy like a new train set, maybe like a stack of tech decks. Funny part about that one is sturdy till it's disturbed. Don't get me wrong, ensuring you good is the way. But either my analogy outlandish or it went over your head. See, love is not dead. It lives in all of us. It just takes trust. And I ain't referring to the fun little Bobby got waiting on him. Because now when you aren't born with the same privileges, does that mean your success rate is slim? The light on every stage you get on now dim? And the crowds you perform for won't clap for you just because they see the color of your skin? I didn't mean to take it there, but it's all interconnected. Love is, at least. Whether it's fostered in a day or 100 weeks, I think it's what we're here for. Death ain't the only thing that's inevitable. And that was that. I ain't going there. Thank you so much.
Great job, Chris. Hold on, I'm just twittering. If Jesus died for my sins, shouldn't I be sinning? All right, real quick, just had to update my Twitter, right? I'm joking, I didn't put that in, steal your line, but I thought that line was dope. Yeah, I'm a rebel. Okay, so we are down to our last two poets. Earlier, I had mentioned to check out our Thursday night online open mic and our Monday night, but our Thursday night host is here. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the woman we like to call Thunderlung. Give it up for Ray Jane. Clap as Ray Jane comes to the mic. We are down to our last two poets.
All at once. Hey guys. I am so happy to see your faces. It's a blessing to be in this space with you, sharing energy. So I thank you for going wherever we're going together with me. As he said, I'm Ray Jane. So if you like what you hear and you want to hear some more, you're bored, going to the bathroom in the morning, you gotta put something good in your ears. You can find me at It's Ray Jane, ITS RAYJANE. All right. Thank you for your attention. They're still whipping black skin at the border.
Crack of lash at back, my black skin somehow felt that. Felt it ripple over centuries of overturned graves, made me recall I am yet a slave, foolish and guided astray, wondering which part of this home feels grave. I spout out, frothing in rage. Bundle of hope, can't burn enough sage. Got the nerve to whip a man who has no land. We offer empty hand when generosity falls short of a minimum wage. If all the world's a stage, can they hire some new fucking actors? Cause we're tired of all these reenactments. I feel incensed. Burn my incense so ancestors give me humanity. So I can see when a creature is on his last breath. Make it impossible to consider the lash. How fast can a man dismiss the existence of a god thing like this? The obviousness of it, shitting in your grits. You uncomfortable now? Good. I was wondering what finally would turn your mind to what is simple, what is unkind. I implore you to find yourself in every terror-filled step as the inviting river around you now wept, how they leapt to avoid skin releasing from their backs. Can you imagine? Fleeing for your life just to meet attack. Can you imagine? Fleeing hate on horseback at that. Ask your local bureaucrat who paid for that. Can you imagine? They've been training for that. Running drills on human will, still practicing on our open bellies. Better yet, why is it so fucking hard to perceive that? To believe that? People feel for a living, just to be killed for their living, and all you can muster up to give is a like and a share, but dare not mention it. Speak the wicked out their britches, or wait for the body to rid itself of affliction. What you continue to be missing is a rising tide of all who've been listening. Ain't missed a peep nor threat, still swimming in debt. Moses ain't quite saved all the people yet. There's body parts in my Red Sea. So behind we pray for an in-between, a loosening, an unloosed thing. A freedom that dared to ring might end up a frightening thing. Whipped on the walk we stay, whipped on the walk we stay. We remain, the violent truth in it soon snatch the whip and proceed to wreck. Cause the way y'all show a disrespect seems like somebody getting a paycheck. All these IOUs, we wondering why we ain't paid yet. At this rate, we all won't have to play dead. You ought to drop your head. You ought to be ashamed, be enraged that someone would dare spill wickedness in your name. Unless that's your name. Oh,
You see how she play games? She come up here like, it takes all of this effort to walk to the stage and coordination, and I hope everyone likes me. And then she gives us thunder lung. It's like when she speaks, the ancestors speak through her. One more time, give it up for Ray Jane. Make sure that you speak with her. She hosts our Thursday night online open mic. She hosts other open mics. She does workshops. She is a phenomenal human being and poet. So make sure you go check her out. All right, we have got down to the last poet of the evening. And I love this woman. I like her poetry. I like her energy. And I always mention it, that I knew there was something special about her because a little over a year ago, we did a block party down the block. And I was hosting, and I called her up, and I'm like, go rock, and she's doing her poem. And then someone on a bike with a boom box on the back goes by playing a beat. And it's really loud, and it's hard to hear her. So instead of her getting mad or thrown off with her poem, she started dancing and flowing her poem to the beat while I was going by. I was like, that's the truth. Put your hands together as we welcome Holly Goons to the stage. Give it up for Holly, our last poet of the evening.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Y'all alright? I want to shout out all the poets that spoke before me. Everybody was fire. Everybody was just super inspiring and super amazing. And thank you for allowing me to come up here today. I have two pieces. One is literally a work in progress. And words suppressed that never leave our chests morph into body aches and pains. They torture the soul, burning holes where hope used to be, crushing dreams with self-deprecating themes on repeat. Feeling far-fetched, yet not impossible to gain. But the waves of toxicity, though unhealthy, are familiar, dare I say comfortable, to ride again and again. Speak up. Don't water yourself down again. And that's poem. This is a piece that I've never shared before. So awesome. To be really, well, y'all are hearing this, so I'm debuting it here. And this piece is called To the Parts of Me Oppressed. Soul says yes is what the church mothers say. They sway and sync with worship and praise. High euphoria mixed with incantations of Yahweh, blended with lost ancestral traditions that somehow found their way back to hearts open to receive. Freedom to be unashamed, unbridled, that's liberty. Your body lightened from the weight of heartbreak, more so familial and communal than that of loveless snakes. Then again, maybe they are in the voices of lost scars. Harmonizing and sobbing our hearts unhealed, yet functioning highly, which we know is not a lost art. Swoon, baby, swoon. Smile, heart, sing. Let your love, your diamonds flow from your centerpiece. Bring your best offering to your altar. Shackles break and you're free. It's in your chest. Energy blows as your body moves effortlessly in the winds of freedom. Swirling about, flying high, deep inside. Journeying to parts unexplored, cries of joy no longer blocked. Flowing emotions, who cares if you're mocked? Freedom comes slow. Freedom, you know its vibrations in bits, in pieces. Yet rarely a full flow. I want to apologize to you for all the times I dimmed my light to let others shine. Shutting my mouth when I knew what to say and standing stiff instead of going to play. Sinking low and not rising high, though those moments were needed in order to ascend away from those ties. Home is where the heart is, and my heart is sure that no matter what, I'll leap, fly, and mature. Yes to a space. Take up all of it. Do not live in your headspace. Baby girl, love is free, not a prison, nor a tormenting means of suffocation. Love is opportunity to expand and blossom, and love is a breeze when you have it deep and bless others without a cause. Poem. Can I share a short, kind of funny one real quick?
Yeah,
all right, hold on, I got you. Let me pull this up real quick. Yes, Holly. All right, yeah, I'm excited. La la la. Let me find it. All right. believed that I wasn't popping. Man, one poor decision or various emotional outbursts doesn't define myself or my worth. Poem.
There we go.
Y'all can find me on Instagram, Holly like Hollywood, Gooch like Google but no L, one word, Holly Gooch. Thanks, y'all.
Holly Gooch, a mainstay member of this community. I love how she went off like that, like, ha ha ha! I'll cut you, you mother son. So, I hope y'all have enjoyed yourselves. We do this the second Saturday of every month. I encourage you, please check out nuyorican.org because we do all different types of shows here. We are big into the different events. Next week, like I said, we're doing the fun. Well, not like I said, Nico said, we're doing the fundraiser. Come hang out, check out with us. We've got so much planned for 2023 and we got stuff going online. Real quick, I would like to thank, because it's going to be the last time I host hybrid this year. I would like to thank our newly minted programs associate, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, for the year and the work he has done. Give it up for Ron, please. I also want to thank the staff at the cafe. When you are curating your own show, when you were doing your own thing, you look at this as if it's your baby, and the people who are working around you, you're like trusting your baby. And all of us who are parents understand when you first have your kid, you don't even trust anyone with your baby, even the people you love and you would trust with your life. So I really appreciate them. I want to give it up for Mr. Ralph in the back. Make sure you give it up for Ralph. Ralph, thank you for the 2022. Brother. I also want to thank, I don't think he's here. Oh yeah, I do see him. This man is worth Words. Use your words. This man has a wealth of knowledge and he has been an important part of our team. I'd like to please give it up for Huey. Huey, thank you for the year, brother. And last but not least, I have to give it up to the man who has been the most important person in the room for all of 2022, and that is our bartender, Kenny. Give it up for Kenny. So our bar is going to remain open in case you didn't speak to a stranger. Now is your opportunity. We're going to play some music. To all of you online who've been checking us out, thank you for 2022. We're going to see you next year. Ron, let's shut it down. Play some music. Everyone get home safe and don't rob anyone. Peace.